hanging out with my dog. Everybody else is at work, man. Everybody else is at work. Hey y'all, what's going on, man? Pigtail Finance, here to talk to you guys. Just wanted to give you guys a few minutes, like background of who I am, maybe where I worked, what kind of education, what type of path I took, and where I'm at now. All the better, where I'm at now, right? Sitting here at home on a summer day, watching sports on TV, hanging out with my dog. Everybody else is at work, man. Everybody else is at work. So let's talk about how we can get you guys there, if that's where you want to be. Or maybe even being more constructive than I am, just watching the French Open. Maybe you guys would be out golfing or doing some charity or starting your own business, whatever it might be. I want to get you to your financial dreams. I want to give you guys a path. I want to let you know that this is possible. So let's take a few minutes and just kind of do an introduction of who I am. My real name is Justin Ellsworth. I live in Castle Rock, Colorado. I grew up here in Colorado. I've worked all over this country, though. Went to school in Aurora, and then after graduating high school, I went to Colorado State University, where I got an IT degree. After that, I was hired by IBM and moved around to several different locations for them, doing different database works for a lot of different companies. I was basically in the consulting firm part of IBM, so I think I was like at Exxon and Hallmark and Nextel when they were around. Trying to think, Sprint, Boeing, and then I got a gig with Disney that then later offered me a full-time job. So I went from IBM to Disney and moved to California and stayed out there for, 8 or 10 years. Moved back home to Denver, worked locally here with Dish Network, and then I finished my career with Comcast. So that's kind of the scene that I was in, but very large IT shops, very large systems, very large databases, kind of in a lot of interesting business models. I really enjoyed the entertainment industry and kind of dealing with records that were based off of interesting things to me, like movies and television shows and what people were viewing and stuff like that. So I thought that was more interesting. I think I interviewed at an insurance place one time, and they were telling me about their databases, and they were like Form 1040s and Form blah, blah, blah Bs, and I was already asleep before the end of the interview. So that was just my personal feeling on some of this stuff. So I kind of consider myself blessed with the type of work that I was able to do. But what I've really found, and what we're going to kind of focus on here, is the frustration with the corporate life. I find that in almost every situation, whether people are being honest or not about it. The only people who really seem to enjoy working in a corporate environment are the people who have either had some success and maybe they're at a VP level or higher, or maybe kind of the executives, or somebody who's kind of been, I don't know, I want to say maybe like the chosen ones, like they're pretty young, but they have a title that's already ahead of themselves. I definitely worked with a VP in the past that was like this. This guy didn't know very much about IT or databases, but he was a VP in charge of a lot of those things, and so it was an interesting challenge, to say the least, when people like myself or my peers or colleagues would kind of come to him with suggestions on, hey, we're concerned about this, we're concerned about capacity, we need to scale, we need to grow, we need to change our design a little bit to help us, help kind of give us a runway into the future. And this guy just never saw it. He had never been down that path before, but yet he was the big kahuna making the choices. So, man, he ran us into a lot of brick walls, and there were a lot of late nights and weekends that myself and my team were spending digging ourselves out of ditches because this guy just was too young. He was too young. But I'm kind of deviating. The point basically here is those types of individuals really sincerely do enjoy the corporate environment. But man, these guys are clearing 250,000 a year. I might be a little bit more dedicated if you paid me $250,000 a year too. So I totally understand where they're coming from. I can see why they're a little bit more vested and they have a vested interest into it. But for most of us, the common person, this is not where we're getting life satisfaction from. So that's kind of the premise behind putting this channel together. Is I felt that exact way. I think we'll cut it and we'll go to another video on what my motivations were to actually get out of the corporate environment. What I'll probably do too is I'll try to link this next video in the description here, so that if you guys enjoyed this, you can just kind of move on to hey, so yeah, we agree with you. Corporate world sucks. It's very dissatisfying. But what now? Where do we go? What do we do? So we'll definitely go over approach in the next video. But I just wanted to give you guys kind of a background to let you know, so that you could kind of relate or understand where I'm coming from. 22 years is a long, long time to spend in a career in an office environment. And so I picked up a lot of stuff along the way, and I saw a lot of good examples, bad examples, a lot more bad examples, but a lot of trends, a lot of people that were dissatisfied. So that's the main reason I'm kind of making these videos. Is if I was totally a snowflake and unique and all this stuff, I don't think there would be an interest out there amongst the community. But I really do think that 95%, maybe even like 98% of the people that I worked with, deep down, this is how they felt. So if I'm feeling that way and I've observed that way, I really think that the greater mass population at large feels this way too. So anyway, that's who I am. That's who I've worked for. That's where I went to school. Where I'm at now, let's just kind of touch on that before I leave you guys. I'm living in Castle Rock, Colorado. I got a great dog, a great house. Very happy, very blessed. We'll get into financial talks later on some of that stuff. But I don't work, man. I don't work. I'm very, very young. I mean, relatively speaking, and I haven't worked for 2 years, and I'm doing just fine. So there's a path for all of us, and we're going to get into that. So let's talk about the approach and some of the frustration that led me to make those changes, and if you guys are there too, some of the moves that you can make to free yourself from this type of lifestyle. Anyway, man, until then, Pigtails Finance. Hit like, click subscribe. Love you guys. Until the next time, peace.